Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to another episode of Tales from the Borderlands, episode 4. Before we start, for just a second, I do have to point out, they could have done a little bit more work on this pause screen. I mean, it's pretty bad. It doesn't even say the name of the game here, it's just this ridiculous pattern. I mean, could have done a little bit better. It's a weak way to start each episode, definitely. Anyways, let's continue. Most people won't ever even see the pause screen or remember it.
What the hell is taking him so long? Rhys, the machine is off. Did you get the beacon? We're ready for you.
All good. Just getting into position.
Oh! Someone is here!
Hey!
Oh, it's you! How are you doing? Technically, we're still in jail.
Who is it you're talking to?
They told me to stay quiet. Oops! I did it again! I'm not supposed to tell you that. You're kind of in the middle of something. I'm sure she'd like to see you too. Oh, hey, here she is.
So, if we could wield
Oh
Hyperion's
no,
might
is she
together,
betraying me?
how would you rule? Hypothetical, of course. But still, you gotta know what you want if you're gonna make it, kid. Like I told you after we escaped Old Haven. Remember?
I'd fix Pandora. There's some good people down there. They deserve better than a world full of psychos.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. But hell, maybe you'll pull it off. Who knows? You've done well so far, kid. But imagine, Rhys, if it wasn't hypothetical. You ever wonder why Nakayama created me? This whole AI thing? I was supposed to find a worthy successor to the Hyperion throne. And that successor, Rhys, is you. If you join me, we could rule together. What do you say, kid? This is the only room with the override port, so if you don't jack in now, you'll never get another shot.
Yeah, like I'm gonna trust him, and like
Say
I would
there's no
stay
rush,
with
but,
Hyperion.
Tick, 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 Rhysy.
Hell no! You're a psychopath. Why would I trust you?
After all the times I tried to help you, after all we've been through, you refuse everything you've ever wanted? Oh, I knew you were an idiot the moment you plugged me into your empty little head. I should have grabbed you by the skull and bashed your brains against a frickin' rock.
You know you died alone, right? Vault hunters killed your friends, they killed your family, and you croaked in some volcano in the middle of nowhere.
Ha!
I am really going to enjoy killing you.
I'm done talking. I'm using the trapdoor.
No. No, you really not.
Rhys, the machine is off. Did you get the beacon? We're ready for you.
Oh, you really shouldn't have told Fiona. All good. Just getting into position.
What are you doing?
Saw this coming a mile
Oh,
away.
I can't believe how long I was stuck inside that empty little head of yours. God, it's good to be out. Woo! Well, that shit's done. I'm everywhere in the system now. Not to mention my sweet new body.
You're a maniac.
No, I am handsome goddamn Jack!
Jack is back, baby. Okay, oopsie. Go online to see your stats. Uh, well, this is a bit of a problem. Stay right here for a second. Let's hope this doesn't mess up too much. Problem is that I upgraded to Windows 10, and because I did that, I installed a firewall. And let's see if this works. And I've been very strict about blocking Windows 10 and such because of that. And apparently I'd never allowed this. Okay, no, not a big problem. Hopefully. Says, me and 13.8% of players honored Schooner as a friend and hero. Wow. That is really low. Really, really low. Am I the only person that likes Scooter? Am I in the vast minority there? Maybe, no, there was 4 choices though, so 13.8% might actually be about of 25%, because it seems like you could have done some other things. You and 44.2% of players let the tour group get vaporized. I'm surprised it's that low. I would have thought it would have been more. And then me and 69.6% of the players shot an innocent diamond pony. That's apparently a real pony just encased in diamond. Wow. It was really impactful that Scooter died and he didn't come back by the time we're done with episode 4. But he'll probably come back in 5. I have a really, really hard time believing that Scooter is gone for the next series of games. For the Rhys decision, you and 26.7% of players revealed Handsome Jack's assistance, so almost nobody else did. I don't know why 74.3% of players thought that was a good idea. Don't they know Handsome Jack? Don't you know you can't trust him? Totally proved to be correct. And then you and 63.1% of players knocked out Yvette. What was the other option there? Just talking her down? And then you and 57.7% of players chose to reject Hyperion. I'm surprised even 42.3% of players would accept Hyperion. There's nothing to accept in Hyperion. They are lunatics. At least I can understand the psychos on Pandora as being actual psychotics. Hyperion people, they're just crazy. See more of your choices online. Sign up for a Telltale Games account. Still won't give them my email. They probably already have it, but still, I'm not gonna bother to do that. Notice the credits now getting hacked, and it just says Handsome Jack when it's flashing. And then we get more music. There is definitely a conversation that needs to be had between game music and just hiring and licensing music. And in general, as a YouTuber, I want them to always have game music. I don't want them to sell a soundtrack. I don't want people that make those soundtracks to put them into the YouTube Content ID system so that every video I cover of a game all of a sudden has this onerous craziness going on, where people who you never know about will claim they own the songs and gameplay footage, which is just ridiculous. and it's not having anything really to do with the legal system at all. Content ID is not a United States copyright law thing at all. YouTube would be completely in its right to say, we're getting rid of Content ID. You can just file a copyright claim like every other site does. But they haven't yet been able to do that because they wanted to get some contracts done with some big license holders. I would hate for games to start doing what a TV channel called the CW did about 10 years ago, where they would take like pop music that was popular then and have it play prominently in all their shows, to the point where they would write characters to own like clubs, and then 5 minutes of the show would be them literally sitting there watching this band play some popular songs. I'd hate for games to get that way. That is so shilling. That's so silly in a way to do. So what do we think is going to happen in episode 5? We don't know if the sister really betrayed her or not. So maybe she did, maybe she didn't. We're saving up money for the final chapter, and I imagine the first thing we can spend money on is the thing you probably should have, but I'm just gonna stick with it and not spend any money on it. Just see how much money you can end, because my thought there is maybe at the end of the game there will be a slightly different ending. There were in the season 2 of The Walking Dead, there were 4 separate endings, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was what was going to be here, that there might be 4 separate endings. We never got back to a flashback scene, a flash forward flashback thing. So we still don't know who that character is. And here we go back to the main thing saying, please give us your email. No thank you. So I think Rhys and her are gonna make it out of there. We know they're gonna make it out of there, and probably Gordy's gonna make it out of there, and I'm hoping Scooter makes it out alive. I don't care about really any of the other characters. It'd be nice if the sister survived. It would be nice if Vaughn survived, but I don't know if he really did. Even though we heard him on the radio, I'm still not sure that was true. So let's just like to wrap up this episode. Pretty short and definitely a problem, because there was a significant break, way too long of a break between when I finished the last episode of episode 3 and started the first episode of episode 4. And then we ran through this. I literally recorded all of episode 4 in a fraction of a day, less than half a day. And so that's not a lot of content. And now we have to wait till episode 5, which probably won't come out anytime soon. The Vault of the Traveler. I guess we're gonna see the Vault of the Traveler. It would make sense. And then there'll be some big reveal there, but probably not a huge reveal. How would they do a giant boss fight with all the QuickTime events and stuff? That would be kind of silly. What would be kind of funny is if they opened the Vault of the Traveler and there was just treasure in it. No boss fight or anything. After all the struggle that they've been through, it would be kind of funny if they actually just got rewarded and succeeded. That would also reaffirm why people go after vaults, because if this world is to be believed, people are eventually going to figure out that there's nothing but monsters in all the vaults, that they're prison cells basically for interdimensional monsters. Uh, do we think their father is going to come back? Probably not, but he might. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I have a hard time buying that. Extras unlocks my choices. We could go back and check our choices, and I think I'll probably need to do that before I start episode 5. More of your choices. So maybe if you go to the website, you can see like every choice, but it doesn't really matter. I get some exclusive loot. Yay. Is there any reason why I would want to play this differently? Not really. If they're gonna try and convince us to play this multiple times, which I think might be the way Telltale Games should go, there needs to be a lot more diversion, a lot more different options. Me trying to play this again right now just so I could see a slightly different dialogue options doesn't appeal. It sounds like it feels like a huge waste of time, and the break between this episode and the last episode is not realistically anything. I only did it for like the very last choice on the second season of The Walking Dead. I did want to see slightly what the different endings are, but it doesn't really matter, and it's your very last decision, so nothing working up to that point really affected anything. Anyways, I guess that's all you can say. It's a fine episode, but I can't evaluate this by its episodes. I can only evaluate the whole game and say the whole game is suffering by being episodic. They need to Telltale needs to definitely get away from episodic. Everybody does, including games that just want to do pre-orders, DLC, and then prequels, and then the main game, whatever the main game is, then DLC that goes on to it, that was almost certainly cut out of the main game, because it's just not a complete experience. This is completely the most obvious not complete experience here, and it is suffering horribly. I suffered starting episode 4 because I didn't remember what was going on. I suffered because I wasn't in the mood and atmosphere of Borderlands, which takes a while to get into because their comedy and their craziness, you have to kind of build up to it, and all the build up in the first 3 episodes is gone now, and all the build up in the 4th episode will be gone. I will come back probably on when episode 5 is out and say, well, I don't remember anything anymore. Again. It's a pain. I don't feel like we really accomplished much in this episode, or any of the episodes really, which basically just going through a story. It's too short for even that. It's like watching the first movie of a planned trilogy and then having to wait 2 years to see the next part, then having to wait 2 more years to see the next part, which is not something I enjoy or am used to doing. But I feel like I've said that enough, and I guess that's gonna be it. We've ended a little short here because of just the way it is. So, as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe to my channel, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos, because that helps me out with YouTube, and I need all the help I can get. Click on my name, Rydo. That takes you to my main YouTube page. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. If you click that and make a donation, you will be my new best friend. I really do need that support. I do a lot of work recording all these videos. I do my best. Let me know in the comments if you have anything constructive as to how I can improve it. My commentary. I know, particularly in this episode, didn't feel like there's a ton of things to say. I'm just kind of following the storyline, listening to other people talk. This is basically that kind of game where it would be just listening to other people talk and barely even commenting on it, because the story is written pretty good. I mean, you can't deny the story is written pretty good on this for what they're trying to achieve. I was never bored by it or irritated by it. I saw some of it coming, but I often see the stories coming. Also, on my main YouTube page, though, is the playlist tab. Click that, check out my other series. I probably, by the time you're seeing this episode, I will be right into a whole new series season, basically. So I will have all new games soon or already that just started. That gives you an opportunity, and you can go back and see Series 1 and Series 2 and see those old games that I covered that have been finished. Also, help me out on social media services like Facebook and Twitter, and even friending me on Steam and Battle.net helps. It really helps. Uh, there's a bunch of links down in the description to follow all of those, and that helps me. It also helps you see when new videos come out. And that's really all I can say. With not very much of a game this episode, and not very much to say. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a good evening.